The IRS is giving basically a stimulus of $750 on average for tax year 2019 and 20. Let's find out if you qualify. Come on. Be strong. So the IRS has announced they will be giving 1.6 million taxpayers a relief, basically a stimulus of on average $750 for tax years 2019 and 2020 for the late filing penalty. Usually what happens if you file your tax return late, there's a 25% penalty. They are waiving that 25% penalty for almost 1.6 million taxpayers for 2019 and 2020. All you have to do to qualify is stay black and die. Basically, you have to do nothing. The IRS will do it for you. Now, there's some things about that I'll go into deeper, but this is unprecedented. Now, to qualify, you have to file your tax return for 2019 and 2020 by September 30th, 2022. That is your deadline. If you miss that deadline, you miss the Gucci. Bam, you're out of here. You don't get no money. But if you can do it by that deadline, you'll get the money. But there's some things we need to talk about because you need to know more. So let's take, for example, you filed your 2019 return smack dab on that deadline of September 30th, 2022. You owe the IRS $5,000. You are like, God, I can't, this is too much. But you owe them $5,000. What would happen is that $5,000 would jump to almost $7,000 because the IRS would do this calculation. There'll be a failure to file penalty of $1,125, failure to pay penalty of $650, and interest of $441.34, bringing your grand total to $7,216.34. $7,000? Most people don't even have that right now. That's 2019. That was almost 2 years ago. Why do you want that money from me now? But that's how it rocks. But with this new stimulus, I call it a stimulus because it feels like a stimulus. With this new stimulus, if you filed late and you don't have an extension, they'll be giving you that $1,125. Now, there's going to be three types of people. Three. That's going to happen out here. I'm going to go over those three types. There's the first one. So the first one is you owe the IRS for 2019 and 2020, you filed late. You paid off your amount due. You don't owe them 1 red cent. You don't owe them a penny. You paid them off. You don't owe them anything. What would happen? You would get that $1,125 plus as a refund. That's just 2019. I'm not even talking about 2020. So you can see how this stimulus really bubbles out. Then there's person number 2. You owe the IRS for 2019 or 20. You filed late. You paid off your amount due, but you still owe for another year. So you still owe for, let's say, tax years 2018 or a back year, or maybe for 2021. What the IRS will do is they'll take that $1,125 plus, and they will apply it to all the other liabilities. And if you have a little bit of Gucci left over, they give you the Gucci. If you don't, you don't. You pay less. So that's person number 2. Now, person number 3, which more than likely are people right now, you owe the IRS for 2019 and 2020. You filed late. You have not paid off your debt. You told the IRS, listen, we need to have a conversation. We need to have a meeting. Let's meet in Starbucks. Let's talk about this. This is $7,000. I can't do this. Let's go on to a payment plan. So they put you onto a payment plan. So what would happen is that they will remove that $1,125 plus off of your account, and that would lower the amount due. Quick tip, if that's your case, I would come after and reassess your payment agreement so you can get a lower payment. Now, the reason why all of this is very important is because everything is connected. You wonder why I kept on saying plus, 1,125 plus, 1,125 plus. The reason why is because it's all connected. As you can see, if they remove the failure to file penalty of that 1,125, your failure to pay penalty of 650 would go down, and your interest would go down of the $414.34. Your total balance that you would owe the IRS will go down. That's why I'm calling this a stimulus. This is an injection of money. Even if you don't get the money, you no longer owe them all that cash, because not only are they taking off the late filing penalty, they're removing everything else. And that's why you have to do the next step. I know they said don't do anything, but I want you to do this. I want you to go onto irs.gov. I want you to go to the account information, and I want you to pull a transcript of your record of account for tax years 2019 and 2020. The reason why is because you want to see certain codes. You want to see code 166, code 276, and code 196. Those codes basically let me know, or if I was working on your case, but let you know how much you owe the IRS and what you can expect to get back. This is an example of a client that came into the office that paid the tax off, they paid everything off, they sold the property, they're in real estate, and they're like, yo, Carlos, man, I just feel like I'm paying these guys way too much. I already paid them almost $78,000, and they wanted another $16,000 on top. I just feel like they're trying to really rape me. I paid it, but I just feel wrong. So I was like, all right, let's sign this power of attorney. Let me see what's going on. So we took care of the matter, and what happened is it's all connected. We were able to reduce all of the penalties. So as you can see, the penalty code is reduced. The code IRS code on there, 161, got reduced by $13,727. The code 271, they reduced and removed the penalty for late payment of $1,656. And then removed code 197, they reduced the amount of penalties a little bit. And they gave that taxpayer a check for $15,000. So that could be you. If that taxpayer never came to me, the IRS will be sending this person $15,000. And I say it again, stimulus, because that is what it is. The IRS doesn't have to do this, but they understand 2019 had to be filed in 2020. That was the pandemic year. 2021 still felt like the pandemic year. This is something the IRS is doing and giving to you. But you have to file your tax returns if you have not filed it by September 30th, 2022. So the crazy thing about this stimulus penalty relief, and I keep on calling it stimulus penalty relief because it's going to be injecting money into the U.S. economy, is not only for individuals, it's for partnerships, 1065s, if you're a MultiMember LLC. Because remember, there's a penalty of about $200 per month per member that you have to pay if you didn't file an extension on March 15th of that year. You get to wipe that away. 1120S, you have a penalty of the same $200 per member per month that you can wipe out. 990s, that penalty can be reduced. Payroll tax return, that penalty can be reduced. I can go on with the different type of penalties. This is Carlos Fraser from Tax Code Tips. Remember, life is short. Pay less taxes. Stay black and die. Stay white and die. Stay Asian and die. Stay Native American and die. Stay Caribbean and die. Stay Latin American and die. Stay How many? I don't even know. I think that's all of it, right? Like that has to be. You told IRS, I can't pay all this. Let's have a meeting. Let's meet in Popeyes. Let's meet in McDonald's. They got free Wi-Fi. We just sit down and let's figure this out. This is $7,000 I don't got right now. You know what I'm saying? You almost want to start crying. 7 G's? My God. Guess what? People are going to start to file those returns ASAP-erroneously to make sure they get this Gucci. You want to get that?